Hey everybody, this is Coach Bill with Weight Loss Made Easy Solution. I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday so far. Finally got a break in the heat, got some cool weather. And so today, guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about my research I'm doing on a new protocol that Emma and I are doing. It's called my 6-week diet down. Um, Back in the days when Emma and I was competing, and those of you that have competed and gone on stage know that there's a 12-week diet down that's pretty brutal, causes a lot of metabolic damage, hormonal damage, and starvation and mood changes. So obviously it's not a healthy way to get on stage, but that's how most people are doing it, even today. So those of you that follow me know that Emily and I specialize in primal eating or ketogenic diets. Some of you guys know it as. We combine it with intermittent fasting and prolonged fasting, and of course, we hydrate with hydrogen-rich water that also helps with many disease models and losing that belly fat or body fat. But we've been doing this for a while now, and we've seen some great results even at our age. It works. There's a lot of science behind it. It's been around for centuries, ever since the beginning of time of our ancestors. You can go to my YouTube channel, type in Bill Mabry, subscribe to it. I've done many videos on the different aspects or the different researches that are involved in primal eating or ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting. Also, why hydrogen-rich water is the best water on the planet to drink to help you not only regulate your blood sugar if you're type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic, or if you have any kind of disease models. There's a lot of research showing that you must change the type of water you're drinking today because of the contamination in the bottled water and city water to hydrogen-rich water. And the science is backing that up as well. But you can go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to it. You can also go to my Weight Loss Made Solution Facebook group page. I post a lot of videos in there also, and I even post some of my fat burning recipes that I add to my cookbook. So today, guys, I'm going to talk to you about the flexibility of this 6-week diet down. Like I said, it's research I'm doing, so a lot of the information I'm getting in these last 4 weeks that we've been involved in it is just our research and what it's doing for us and what I'm seeing. And so far, guys, I really like the 6-week diet down protocol as far as what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to not starve to death. I'm looking to be satisfied after all my meals. I'm looking to add lean muscle, and I'm looking to lose the extra belly fat and body fat. For me, guys, my biggest issue was, I lost probably 60 or 70 pounds. So obviously at my age, we're going to have a little bit of saggy skin. But in the last year or 2 or 3 years, what's happening to our saggy skin is exactly what science said would happen. It's starting to tighten up, but it does take time. And we've been very consistent with this eating program that we've come up with. But I want to go ahead and I wanted to go to the next level and even escalate the love handles. That's where I carry all my fat. If back in the days when I gained weight, it all happens in my love handles first and then works around to the belly. Well, right now, I don't have an issue with a lot of fat in my belly right now. As a matter of fact, at my age, I'm pretty surprised on my abs popping out that have been hiding there for years. But it's in my my love handles, and so I wanted to figure out, okay, how could I really get and attack my love handles, the extra belly fat or the extra body fat I want to get off. And so that's why I was playing around with different protocols, and we came up with the 6-week. Well, sorry, I'm seeing some great results as far as my love handles and with the other parts of my body as far as burning off the excess belly fat. But the biggest thing I'm really encouraged about is the flexibility because, life gets in the way. And that's why most people fail when they diet. Life gets in the way and they go to a family event and they didn't prepare any food for that event and they're hungry and they're smelling the food. And of course, the hormones that are designed to increase your appetite gets activated and it's just too hard not to eat what they're eating and they fall off the wagon. Well, what I wanted to do here, and I've put some notes down, I actually am documenting everything that's going on. We do, when we exercise, we're documenting our progress in increasing strength along with adding more lean muscle, because you got to have both of them. And so what I found out is that flexibility of going off this having a bad day does not actually cause an issue with the 6-week diet down diet. But remember too, guys, that we're very, very rooted in fat adaptation, very rooted, and our blood tests show it. And that's how we're monitoring the progress, not only in the 6-week diet down, but also in our normal protocols that Emily and I do. And it takes time. Your body does not switch over to fat adaptation all by itself. It takes time and consistency. And we've been doing it for a long time. And that's why this 6-week diet down seems to be working very, very well, because we are very rooted in fat adaptation. So those of you that are just starting out, you're going to have to set yourself a 6 month to a 12 to 15 month goal to get in that fat adaptation and to have happen what happened to us. And so every Friday night, Emily and I have a date night. We go out with our friends, and we go to a particular restaurant we like to go to. And normally, they have really good, healthy foods. We stick to the Primal or Keto meal, salad with chicken and avocado and eggs on it. We don't eat any starchy foods at all. We don't eat bread. We don't have any kind of pasta or anything like that. We stick to our primal meals or keto meals. Well, on the protocol that I'm a huge fan in alternating day fasting, and what I mean by that is, for example, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Emily and I basically is our non-fasting day, even though technically everybody on this planet is doing some type of fasting. But what we do is we don't have our first meal until around noon, and we have our last meal the night before, either at 6 or at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But this 6-week protocol calls for Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays as our non-fasting day, and Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays are a fasting day, and our first meal and last meal is always going to be around 2 p.m. And then after that, we don't eat any calories, just coffee, water. You guys can have unsweetened green tea. So that's the 6-week protocol, basically. So what happens is that last Friday night, last Friday, I just felt like I just wanted to have some starchy carbs, and didn't really think about as checking my glucose and my ketones after I have it. I just didn't care. I just felt like having something I haven't had in a long time. So what I did is I did have starchy bread. I had more bread than I normally do. I had a meal that was very starchy. And then about a half hour after we ate, or an hour after we ate, then we decided to go to 31 Flavors, and my wife and I both split a quart of peanut butter chocolate ice cream, which is my favorite ice cream. We both ate a half a quart. And the thing that we do, guys, whenever we do this, and we found this out a few years ago. Emily's been making homemade kombucha for a couple of years now. And homemade kombucha is known by science as a very, very powerful has digestive enzymes and probiotics, which is going to help heal your gut or make your gut healthier, so you do digest your food much better. And people that add that to their daily meals who have ever had a gut issue, eventually those gut issues go away, which means gluten intolerant gut or lactose intolerant, stuff like that. Dairy products causes stomach issues over time. And she also makes homemade kefir, which is a very, very powerful probiotic and digestive enzymes also. And we've been breaking our fast with the kefir for a while now before we have our first solid meal. But what we found out is that if we do have a starchy meal or some kind of a sugary dessert, as soon as we get home, we'll have a big glass of kombucha, and it seems to help to lower the insulin level or the sugar level in our blood, so that we don't get that sugar high or headache, or we don't have a gut issue after we've eaten something that's got a lot of gluten in it or a lot of sugar. And so for me, a big indicator of if I've had too much starchy foods or if I had too much sugar is going to be my shoulders. I have chronic arthritis in shoulders to a degree where a few years ago I couldn't even go to the gym. I couldn't even surf. I was trying to find some type of sport that I could do, but the pain of my shoulders were basically locked up and very painful. I was in pain 24/7. I couldn't sleep all night because the pain was so bad. But then somebody introduced me to hydrogen-rich water, which is structured in a way to flush out inflammation. See, that's what chronic arthritis is major inflammation in the shoulders, plus changing the way we eat, the time we eat, and adding kombucha and kefir to our lifestyle. So all these factors is built around flushing out inflammation, and that's why it's worked so well today. But my biggest indicator when I've had too much starchy food at one meal or too much sugar is I'll wake up the next morning in pain with my shoulders. And if I'm exercising that day, it's much harder and painful for me to exercise. Well, we found out that by having kombucha, as soon as we get home, and it seems that 8 ounces is the key, that I wake up the next morning and I have no issues, no pain issues. A half hour after I've had the kombucha, I have no gut issues. I don't get a sugar high. I don't feel bad. It's dangerous because I know that I can have that stuff and still be feeling okay. It's dangerous because I know that I can have kombucha and I'm not going to wake up the next morning and have any kind of shoulder pain, and I can exercise like I normally can. So I have to really make sure that I don't look at that as a crutch, okay? But anyway, so we came home. I had my 8 ounces of kombucha, and then every night I do apple cider vinegar. I have 2 tablespoons of apple cider in a big glass of water before I go to bed. Now, apple cider vinegar is known, just like kombucha, to help those of you with type 2 diabetes to regulate your blood sugar at night. And it's also known to help, it's like a thermogenic, so it's going to help you actually burn or raise your metabolism, so you're going to be burning more fat. And that's another reason why I do it. I've had many people tell me that since they introduced apple cider vinegar to their lifestyle at night before they go to bed, they don't have the gut issues they've had in the past, and they sleep better. And that's, you can look that up in your science also. But what was interesting, guys, is that I'm talking about the flexibility of the 6-week diet down and how intermittent fasting works, is that, okay, Friday night I was massive amounts of sugary, starchy foods and ice cream. And so what I did was the following day was Saturday, so normally I won't eat until 2 p.m., and that will put me at a 20-hour fast. I don't have any calories, just black coffee and water and sea salt. Well, I went ahead, and because of that ice cream, I decided, I'm going to go ahead and go a little bit longer. And so I went about 22 to 23 hours longer to just to burn off what sugar I had left in my blood. Now, I had no idea where my blood sugar level was at 22 hours or where my ketone levels are. You guys know that, who follow me know that we educate people about ketones and how important it is to have ketones in your blood if you're going to be if you're trying to lose your belly or body fat. And even if you have some kind of underlying disease like cancer, ketones is very, very important to help to prevent cancer or even fight it. But anyway, I had no idea, so I decided to do a video on, and I tested my blood. And you can go to my YouTube channel and see the video of at my actual blood testing. And I know now that I can determine my ketone levels just by where my sugar levels are for both of us. And so I went ahead at 22 or 23 hours. I went ahead and did a glucose or sugar blood level test using real blood, because blood doesn't lie, it tells you the truth. And I was very, very shocked to see I was at 62. I was at 62 in my blood sugar. Now, I know that a lot of these doctors who have no nutritional background at all have no really good idea on the physiology and how the blood works in sugar, and how changing your types of foods you're eating and changing the time you eat them has effects on blood sugar in the blood. They'll freak out at that number, just freak out and says, "Oh man, you're going to pass out." Well, guys, remember, Emily and I are fat adapted. We've been doing this a long time. Like I said before, you're going to teach your body to burn your own body fat. See, most of you are eating too many meals, too high of starches, and you're not burning your own body fat, and that's why you're getting heavier and heavier. And those of you that are 40 over, it gets worse and worse. So you have to change it. But anyway, I was totally blown away that my blood sugar had dropped down to 62, which is okay. I mean, I'm fine with that. I have no issues with that at all, which makes my ketone levels pretty high. And that's telling me that I'm in autophagy. Those of you follow me, you could go to my YouTube channel or my Facebook page and see the video on autophagy. That's where I want to be. That's where I'm going to be actually producing muscle stem cells to be able to build more muscle mass. And that's where I was exactly at. Now the question is, when did I go back into fat burning? When did I burn up all the sugar in my blood? Well, from what I have done in the past when I'm checking my blood or my ketones, because I am so fat adapted, most likely 6 to 8 hours after that meal is when I went right back into fat burning. So probably while I was asleep, I had burned up my metabolism, freaked out because of all that sugar, bumped it up. That's why those of us that have been doing this a while, when we're eating, we are sweating. And that's because your metabolism is sky high and is trying to burn off that excess calories and sugars. And so at nighttime, sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'm sweating in my neck. A few nights ago, Emily felt my pillow and it was wet. And so this is my opinion. Now, there's a little bit of science on it, but not a lot. But because of the apple cider vinegar, which is also promoting thermogenic at night, but my metabolism is at a set point. Now, you guys have heard of me talk about the body set point, how important it is to know what that means. For any of you that are looking to lose weight or belly fat, you got to know what body set weight means. I mean, science, there's a lot of science coming out explaining it, okay? And this is, body set weight is also determines how quickly you're going to lose that weight. You got to understand it all. I'm not going to get involved in it. You can go to my YouTube channel, and I do have a YouTube on it. But I'm not going to explain it. But it's very important to know your body set weight, and we have Emily and I both have a body set weight. I believe now that we even have a metabolism set point, because of all that sugar and starchy stuff I ate, my metabolism is used to be at a certain point, and when I added that sugar, it freaked it out, and it didn't, and it's going to try to burn it off. So that's exactly what I did. I believe that I got into fat adaptation probably in 6 to 8 hours is what my belief is. So although my blood sugar was at 62, which most health professionals and doctors are going to freak out, because those of you that are so focused on eating before you go to the gym, or eating 3 or 4 or 5 meals a day, and then something got in the way and you couldn't eat before you went to the gym, and all of a sudden you start feeling dizzy, and you begin to pass out. And that's why you see people that haven't been training for a long time, these personal trainers I've noticed in the gyms, somebody who's brand new or hasn't worked out in a long time, they start them off way too fast, way too heavy of weights. And what happens is you see them sitting there with their heads between their legs, and they're feeding them some kind of sugary drink because they're about ready to pass out. That's an example of somebody who is not fat adapted. Guys, those of you that follow me, I've educated you about this for a long time. Your body does not automatic energy when you run out of glucose or sugar. It doesn't happen. You got to teach it. You got to walk into it very, very slowly and safely. And that's why a coach, and it doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. If you have any issues, hire a coach. Somebody that specifies and has been doing this type of meal plans and intermittent fasting for a long time, and who's actually doing it themselves, and they're maintaining their physique in a healthy way, because they're going to walk you through it safely. That's the key factor, is being safe. Well, the thing is, even though my blood sugar was at 62, when I worked out, I had no loss of energy issue. I was actually felt super strong. I had 0 hunger wave. Now remember, guys, I do things to control certain hormones that are causing you to have those cravings for sugar and starchy foods, or a hunger wave. I have ways of doing that. You know, obviously apple cider vinegar is one of them but the biggest thing is my hydrogen-rich water with sea salt. If I ever get a hunger wave during the day and it's not time for me to eat, all I got to do is have like 16 to 20 ounces of my hydrogen-rich water, which is structured in a way to hydrate me at the cellular level very quickly. I combine that with Himalayan sea salt, a 1/4 teaspoon, and there's a ghrelin that causes that talks to your brain and says, hey, you need to eat at 12 o'clock. That happens to me. I drink that, and that hormone just jets right down to the bottom to normal. It goes away. So I don't sabotage my fasting at that time. But my shoulders felt great. Like I said, I've had severe arthritis, chronic for years, and now it's not completely gone, but it's gone enough where I can I can work shoulders and add lean muscle to my shoulders. But in the meantime, because of the environment I'm in with the ketones and lowering my glucose in my blood, I'm flushing out inflammation, and that's also known by science, okay? So, back to the flexibility. I just showed you what happened to me. So does this mean that I can actually do this, or have a date night and eat what I ate, all that starchy and dessert every Friday night? No, it doesn't mean that at all. But it means that I can enjoy, going on a specific 6-week diet down to where I'm trying to lose more belly fat and body fat, if I do go to a family event and I do eat what they're eating, and it's not my normal primal or keto meal, or if I'm messing up a intermittent fasting eating window, I can do that. It's all because I'm fat adapted. So I'm not going to stress about it, because if I do stress, what does stress produce? It produces a hormone known as cortisol. And then what happens is you're stressing out mentally that, oh my gosh, I'm going to eat that bad food, and it's going to cause me to gain weight. And in a sense, guys, it is, because most of your health professionals don't realize that when you're stressing out and your cortisol level is high, and then on top of that, you're a stressful eater, you're going to eat a lot of high carb and a lot of processed sugars or refined sugars and high cholesterol, along with insulin spiking, is going to cause you not only to be kicked out of ketosis for probably 12 to 14 hours, but it's also going to store more of your own body fat. You see? So that's why controlling your hormones, certain hormones, are so important, and knowing where your blood sugar is and knowing where your ketones are, so you don't sabotage your whatever you're trying to do. If you're trying to reverse type 2 diabetes, or if you're trying to reverse fatty livers, or are you trying to, get off that extra body fat, you guys see? So there's a lot involved in it. So anyway, guys, that's my update. I'm very excited about how this 6-week diet down is working. We're just starting our we're 4 weeks into it. And we've had in these 4 weeks, yes, I've had a couple times when I have gotten off the normal routine, but obviously it has no effect on what I'm trying to do. Okay, guys? So, guys, like I said, you can go to my YouTube channel, type in Bill Mabry, subscribe to it, or you can go to my Weight Loss Made Easy Solution Facebook group page, join it, and you'll see some actual recipes, fat burning recipes. Also, guys, probably today or tomorrow, I've got a brand new recipe, and it's for those of you that are French fries lovers and are having a really hard time with not eating fries when you're going to In-N-Out Burger. I have the solution, and it's going to blow your mind away, because really it actually tastes better than the regular French fries. So stay tuned. Join my Weight Loss Made Easy Solution Facebook group page, and you will see that recipe. Guys, have a great day. See you guys at the next video. Bye.